That's that's what happens sometimes. But I'm so happy to be here, and we have a great word today, and one that is was exemplified by that dog, and that word is perseverance. So let's read the description of perseverance, and let's see, where is it? Here we go. Let's read that description and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So, perseverance is the will to carry on. Once we discern our true direction, we stay the course for however long it takes, regardless of obstacles that arise. When creativity inspires us, we do the work required to bring it to fruition. We patiently pursue our goals, remaining steadfast and focused. We persist with a task until it is completed. People can trust us to finish what we start. When our relationships are tested, we have the commitment to work things through. We are determined to succeed. So, what a great word, and and a virtue that all of us aspire to, and some of us are like a little better at it than others, right? So, when I look at this word perseverance and think about the meaning of it, there's a lot of things that come to my mind. First off, for myself, I've said for a long time, this is my mission. I have that stated out, and that's the direction that I want to take my life, and in helping other people in their parenting, and helping teachers with their teaching in school, and being able to reach children in a way that brings out the best in them. And I believe that that comes from that place of clarity, knowing exactly what it is that we want to aspire our children to. It comes with communication, because we can have all the clarity in the world, but if we don't communicate it in a way that can be heard by our children, then of course they're not going to listen, and they're going to move on with their lives. And then working at it consistently, which is what perseverance is all about. It's about that consistency. It's about knowing that we are on a path that we have chosen, and we're going to stay focused on it and not be taken away with all the things that happen on the side. And that's an area that I've struggled with, because there's just so many things that I would love to do, and so many things that are of interest to me, and things that are important no matter, and so defining and clarifying, and that's where that clarity comes in, clarifying what is it that you want to accomplish, what are your goals, what is it that brings you the most joy and happiness and satisfaction, and then communicating it, and then working at it consistently. And sometimes that's been a spot for me that has needed more work than other times. So, the fourth C, just so you know, is community, and sometimes that community is what helps us in staying the course, right? Because of their encouragement, because of their helpfulness, because they're there to support us and help us in staying in that commitment to working things through. And many times their suggestions and help is what really not only inspires us, but also gets the job done. So, as I think about this from a parenting point of view, perseverance is really about that clarity, knowing what it is that you believe, knowing what it is that is important to you. What are your values? What are the virtues that you want to grow in yourself and in your children? And as I've been saying for quite some time now, I really believe that parenting really begins with personal development, and that is developing ourselves to our being our best selves, bringing out the best in ourselves, showing ourselves that we can grow, that we can continue to grow, right? And just because we're adults doesn't mean that this is who I am and where I want to be. I mean, I'm a perfect example of that, and I think anyway, of being at an age that was a full blown adulthood, and yet realizing that I wasn't being my best self, and then moving forward from that. And I'm still not my best self, and we should never think, I don't believe anyway, that we're going to reach some point in our life where this is it, and this is as far as I need to go, because growth is one of those areas that keeps us alive, that keeps us going, and it's our purpose for being here on the earth is to continue to grow. So if we're going to help our children to persevere and to be their best selves, then we need to grow that virtue ourselves, right? And we need to really be very clear about the virtues that are important to us so that we can communicate them and live them in a consistent way. Staying that course can be very difficult because there's a lot of influences around us. We have our friends and neighbors and relatives who many times will try to tell us what they think is best for us. But we know as an individual, you know what is best for you and for your family. And then we also have all the media around us that describes perfect families and demonstrates problems being solved in 30 minutes or less, right? But that's not how life is. And so we do have to persevere. We have to stick with it. We have to stay focused. We have to be steadfast with the belief in our the virtues and in the values that we have as a family, and be consistent in living them and making choices that help to grow them. When we do that kind of work, we're going to find that our children will also see the fruits of that, because they will grow with us, and as they get older, they will see the importance of perseverance. Now, we can also help them to see and help them develop and, let's say, practice the virtue of perseverance by making sure that when they commit to something that they complete it, right? So if they commit to a soccer team for 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever, we want to be sure that they complete that commitment. And then if it's not their thing, or if it's not something that they want to continue to pursue, then that's a choice that they make. However, staying the course is for the commitment that you've made is really a value and a virtue that many families believe is very important for their children to grow up and be successful and happy. I can tell you from the martial arts world that there's been a lot of kids that I have trained and been with, and a lot of schools have the same situation where someone comes in, they train up to a certain level, and then they stop, and then they come back later at age 14 or 15 or something like that to finish because they missed it, and they could have been so much further ahead, and they could have had so many great experiences in that growth if they had stuck with it. So perseverance is just one of those unbelievably important virtues that we want to continue to develop and grow and balance in our lives. So that's my thoughts today about perseverance, and I hope that this is a virtue that you're continuing to grow. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues, all of them, all 100, right? And the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. All right, everybody, until tomorrow morning, we'll see you next time. Bye.